Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps podcast. The Quilter Autumn Series has come to an end regarding the one game that's going to happen this weekend, which we'll cover a little bit later. And then we're back into URC with the table-topping undefeateds going up against each other. But I've got Tim here with me. How you doing, Tim?
Good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an awesome weekend. What some topics that we need to talk about, especially with what happened this weekend. There's been a lot of discussion going around, and I think we definitely need to get into it and discuss some of the things because it is worthwhile talking. And I mean, like I said beforehand, some of the things that have been brought up for discussion is a bit silly. But starting off from the bottom, Georgia going up against Japan. Japan coming off on top, 23-25. I didn't quite see the game because I couldn't find it anywhere. But I mean, I was expecting Japan to win by a little bit more, but yeah. Then
Georgia's come a long way, huh? Georgia's not the sort of one-dimensional team they were not too long ago. So yeah, I mean, the big Georgians are big, huh?
yeah. But you know what? For me, they're almost the European, like Fiji and Samoa. They're very big. Them just lack a bit of the technical side.
Well, I mean, Fiji and Samoa, they have that sort of freestyle flowing rugby, whereas, I played in Batumi and they are the Georgian national champions. Um, and they are very one-dimensional team. When I was there, it was more of a fly who can kick a ball a mile and a first centre who's built like a flanker, and the ball doesn't get past the first centre much. It's very easy to defend stuff. They rely on their big, heavy set forwards to make the bashing, but they don't sort of have that creative spark which the Fijians have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I said. It's a very physical game. You can't underestimate it, but like you said, it is a bit one dimensional and
I mean, it's
everything.
come a long way since then.
Yeah.
That was 2016, so that
Yeah.
was 9 years ago.
Yes. Yeah. And then the game where Wales looked like they were keeping up, but unfortunately, again, last 15 minutes of a game, New Zealand came back and literally put the nail in the coffin, scoring literally 2 points to every 1 point Wales scored, going 52-26 to the All Blacks.
Yeah, I mean,
Um, yeah,
the fact that they got 26 points on the board, I was impressed by the Wales. But then again to let through 50 points, so
yeah,
uh, you know, it's a better showing from Wales. I think they are in the right direction, but it's going to take a lot of effort to get to where they need to be by the World Cup.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean they are going in the right direction at least.
yeah. And then, of course, we've got our game, which we'll cover a bit after this because there's some questions and things I want to bring up with it. Then, of course, Italy going up against Chile, and of course, Italy going off 34-19 victors, which was kind of to be expected with the current form Italy's in. The 19 points from Chile, you can't underestimate, you can't literally ignore that. That was actually pretty decent
I
going up
thought I
against the Chile.
thought Italy, when I saw this game, I thought Italy would win that by 40, 50 points. So the fact that they only won it by, you know, less than 20, it's pretty impressive from Chile's side, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, we can't underestimate it. It was actually very good, and a 15-point victory is still quite a bit of a margin. But like you said, we would have expected a bit more. But Chile definitely putting up their hands there, which
Yeah.
is kind of exciting to see from a tier two nation. And then, of course, the game that ended off the day, 48-33, Australia looking like they were a lot better and then just letting it slide away. Uh, of course, France putting on some points on top of in the beginning, and then Australia fighting back, but of course they couldn't quite finish it. And then 15 points on extra from France just completely and utterly closed the game off, which for the French is probably makes us a successful autumn nation, except for that one game against us. But Australia's probably not looking forward to the media back home. They probably were looking forward to get home to their houses and their beds because this was not a tour for them.
No, Australia, they just didn't turn up, and there was so much hype that they were on the up and they were doing so well off the championship. At one stage they're very much in the hunt for the championship. So, you know, they
Yeah,
beat the Springboks in Joburg. You know, um, so I was shocked that they've done so poorly on this tour. However, like I said last week, they've had a hell of a long international season, and it did show that they were tired. I think they were just exhausted on this end of the year tour. I think there was just too much rugby for them. It's a lot of rugby to play. They're playing Super Rugby, then they're going to play internationals, then the Lions tour. They played against New Zealand, South Africa, Argentina, both twice. I mean, that's a hard ask.
yeah,
They've played really top tier teams, and I think it showed at the end. I think the Lions tour added thrown in this year just absolutely drilled them at the end.
yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, it's not nice for a team to go down like they did the whole series and everything. But yeah, then of course we moved on to Sunday where Scotland came off victors as we were expecting, 56-0 over Tonga. Obviously handled the force that came at them and
yeah,
literally pushed it on. And then the game of, let's say, controversy, because there was a bit of a scuffle after the game where we're still waiting to hear the final outcome of the findings. Um, but yes, I must be honest. Um, the fact that it was Tom Curry involved, I almost don't expect it. I think 2019, I had huge respect for the guy, and I just started losing respect for him after that with all the little things that are happening. He's the joke here in South Africa. The fact that he misinterpreted one of Afrikaans word, which could be used as a Australian uh, common swear word, and yeah, I think I've actually lost respect for him. He has literally become a bully, and yes, that hit that he made was a bit off. Unfortunately, the injury came, which was the. But if it was true with the reaction that he did to Contaponi, I do think he needs to be held accountable for it. If it was not as bad as it seemed, then yeah, I still think. Yeah, but from the clips that I've seen from supporters where you literally watch everybody walk into the tunnel, then all of a sudden you see everybody run into the tunnel, does tell me something did happen in the back there. We just need to wait until it comes out properly, which we'll definitely keep an eye out. But yes,
look, I
we
mean,
need,
that Tom Curry's tackle, it was slightly off. Yes, it should have been a penalty for sure. However,
it was
if
a
you watch
penalty.
the if you watch the slow mo, um, Tom could have pulled out of that, and he just chose not to. He,
Yeah,
he went through with that, and he went through with it with intent to hurt him. And that's, I'm sorry, like it's no place in world rugby for
but it's
that.
almost like us, England this past year. And listen, all good to them going 11 games in a row at the moment. Um, they do seem like they've become bullies lately. Uh,
England do this all the time. Okay, so they bully everyone, and then they come against South Africa and they get bullied by South Africa. That's why they can't beat us in the World Cup because they play the same game plan as us. We just do it better.
yeah. But you know what I did find funny was Pollock was quiet until the final whistle. He didn't get all, yay, look at, which then makes me think
Are you
if
talking
the
about
pressure's
TikTok?
on,
Are you talking about TikTok boy here?
yes, TikTok boy, yeah. Um, which then
Honestly,
tells
that
you,
man a great rugby player, but he makes himself a joke.
Yeah. Though, have you seen the outcry from England, the fact that he didn't get World Breakthrough Player of the Year?
Why? Look how many minutes he's played.
164 or something like that compared to Fabian Holland, who's 600 something.
Yeah, I
And
mean, you can't. The guy comes off the bench for the last 20 minutes. He can't get breakthrough player of the year. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
the
And
the
he's not
one,
enough. The fact that this kid sat through an entire day, did this, tell me, say something when you hear a better flanker.
yeah,
The, the dude kept quiet the whole time.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Dwayne Vermeulen said in an interview, let me just play one game against him.
yeah. I would actually pay to see that Thor up against TikTok. But I mean, the thing is, when like that video I put on in the group, the one player I was actually surprised that didn't get Breakthrough Player of the Year was Sueli. I mean, he's had a phenomenal year. Blow the results.
Yeah, look, he was. I thought he's had a outstanding year. The problem is, I mean, the fact that he even got nominated after Australia's done so poorly shows you just how good a season he has had.
Yeah.
Um, so I was surprised by that. I thought they might give it to him, but I also thought they might give it to Pollock purely because of the hype.
But I think that's the thing is it's just hype. It's not
It is
actually.
just hype. I mean, he's a quality rugby player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's got exceptionally speed for his size. He's agile. He's got great hands. But I'm sorry, the kid is just way too immature and he acts like a clown, and it's going to affect his rugby. It's
Mm,
one thing to be um, sort
yeah.
of confident and
World
sort of
class.
arrogant on the field, even to a point.
Yeah.
You know, when you start doing things that he's doing, it's not when you start to think that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Those people are the ones that fall.
But I mean, they have to come to South Africa, which I think all South Africans are licking their lips next year.
I hope you put 20 to 30 points in them and just keep them quiet. The English are insufferable, the fans, and I know they say it about us being insufferable, but oh man, have you heard yourself?
Yeah. Pot calling the kettle black. But
Yeah.
but then, like I said, we skipped over our game, but it's mainly because I want to look at some of the stuff here. I mean, number one, I've heard a lot of people complain about the scrumming that there. I've heard pundits and ex-professional and professional players where they said we did nothing wrong. I can't remember who. I think it was Dan Bigger said Porter literally pushed out, and as he pushed out, there comes the Springboks coming straight through. Um,
Look, at the end of the day, we destroyed them up in every facet of the game. Take the scrums out of it, we still would have beaten them.
but the thing is, I actually saw someone put up a thing where they said Russie was making a statement. He didn't want to just win. He
Of
wanted
course, of
demoralize them.
but there
I
were
mean,
so many things out of this game that annoyed me. Okay, that's
yeah,
come out of this game. Not the game itself, but since the game has ended.
yeah,
One is nonsense about scrums. If you don't want to play a game that doesn't have scrums, go play rugby league. That is exactly what rugby league is.
but
It's
not,
rugby without scrums.
but not.
Okay?
My thing is, all right, and I was just thinking about this just before we started this. The people who are complaining about it
Are the
are
people being
no,
shunted by South Africa?
but below that, it's the people who haven't played rugby. They are so-called supporters, but they sit there on their phone and TikTok, and they want to see all the dancing and the sidestepping and everything like this. It's the
Go
people who,
watch rugby.
yeah, but it's the people who
Become a rugby
don't.
league fan. Become
It's
a
the,
rugby league fan. This
yeah,
is rugby union. We have lineouts. We have scrums. If you don't like it, choose another sport.
but the art of scrumming and mauling is
Exactly. It's an
beautiful.
art form. It's a part of the game. It's been a part of the game for 100, 200 years. If you don't like it, by all means, find another sport support that sport. If you're not a fan of this sport, find another one.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Rugby league is exactly like rugby union, just without any runs, out any mauls, lineouts, or scrums. It's perfect for you. Go watch that. Do us all a favor. But stop commenting on the game that I love, trying to change it when you don't know anything about it.
But I mean, like, let's just look at that. 3 tries to 1. One of them, of course, being the penalty try. Where we only got one conversion. To their one conversion. All right. They took 2 penalty kicks, which of course they got over. They had more passes than us. We had more offloads. We had more line breaks. Outside breaks was even. Scrums, even though it says 4 out of 4 for them, 12 out of 12. I mean, I think 8 of those were from one penalty that we just
Yeah.
kept on going after them for. Lineouts 9 out of 11 to 18 out of 21. I mean, the defense as well. I mean, 155 tackles, only 138 completed, but it says South Africa did more. Breakdowns we had less compared to them, so they had plenty of time to get on top of us. Ball steals again, they had one more than us. Forced penalties, okay, even. Kicking, we kicked the ball away more than them according to the stats. I mean, so you're gonna tell me one part of the game is where you guys failed, and now that's the one part of the game that you. We called a scrum from a 22 mark, and it got taken away because everybody was like, "What the hell?" Now, what's next? South Africa's just going to kick the ball as hard as they can into the guy's hand to make him drop it to scrum. That's the next thing. I mean, yellow cards as well. 4 to our 1. They got 1 red card, which some people are saying should have been a direct red card, which I see now he's got 3 weeks suspension with the
It should
possibility
have been
to.
a direct red. I mean, in the laws of the game, there were no mitigating factors. It was malicious. It was shoulder to head. It was no arms clean. It was from the side. Nothing he did in that clean out was legal. Not a single thing.
But at the
He
same
went
time,
feet. He hit the guy with his shoulder to head. He didn't wrap the arm. He came in from the side. It was late. What about any of that says that it wasn't a red card?
yeah. But I mean, then people were complaining about the Sasha penalty. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh no, here we go. Oh
I,
shucks."
for me, still, I think he deserved a yellow.
Uh, okay, from that side angle, yes. From
He didn't
the
wrap the arm. He didn't
no,
wrap
no,
the arm. Whether he made contact to the head or not
but
is
hear me
irrelevant.
out. Is I actually think he was going and then pulled out, but of course he was too much momentum in because if you see O'Brien hits him on the back of his shoulder. I
Just
think
the end of the statement was that he made shoulder contact with no arms. I mean, he didn't wrap. He didn't make any attempt to wrap arms, which is
that's why I
by
said
law a yellow card.
for,
Again, I think we were lucky with that one.
yeah.
Why it could have gone either way, but I think
Hmm,
personally, I think we were very lucky to get away with that.
yeah,
And had that been a yellow, that might have changed the swing of the game a bit because that was quite early on.
yeah. But for me, like I said, from side on, I was like, oh gosh, that's a card at least. And then when I saw the back, I was like, I can kind of see where Carly came with mitigation. The fact that O'Brien was already in the tackle and he came and he hit it at the back. Unfortunately, yes. However, Ringrose, if I would have actually reversed the penalty because of Ringrose, because there was already a scuffle before that, and he said that's the end of it. And then
Yeah,
Ringrose,
there is that. I mean, but I think that's refereeing discretion. So like personally, I would have. I mean, there was no real great scuffle off the goal. I mean, there was a little scuffle, but it wasn't a massive to do. So I would have gone with the referee did and just left it as a penalty. I probably would have sent Sasha off personally. I would have given him a yellow.
yeah.
Um, personally, um, yeah, I would have
But
given Sasha a yellow, and I would have kept it as an Irish penalty because the scuffle afterwards. Yes, and I would have had a speaking to Ringrose and the captain. I said, next time you run in like that, I will send you off too, and I'll reverse the penalty.
I think that's also I also think that that's why he pulled the card already because there was already that whole thing and he wanted to. But yeah, but as we said in our group call that we had, it almost looked like he was trying not to hand out cards. Like you could
Well, I
see,
mean, the penalty try, by definition of law, that should be a yellow card to the prop. He didn't send him off.
yeah,
The one where Caleb Moody made contact and bounced the guy, that should, yes, he lost the contact situation, but his tackle was illegal. It was shoulder to Caleb Moody's jaw. That is a yellow plus a review straight away.
yeah,
However, he got absolutely flattened, and I think the referee felt a bit sorry for him. But it doesn't include the fact that, just because you got absolutely smoked doesn't mean your tackle was legal. There were no arms. He hit him shoulder to jaw. It's a yellow card. But it
yeah,
didn't give him a penalty. But by that point, he'd given so many yellows. I think he was trying, like you say, not to give yellows. There were two or three occasions where I thought he could have gone to the pocket. He didn't.
yeah.
Uh, But Sasha for me was one for us that he didn't go for the pocket, which he definitely could have. Uh,
Talking about that, did you see that meme that came out after the game where it showed you him getting Sneeman a yellow card and Sneeman's putting out the Uno reverse card?
yeah,
Uh,
you know, yeah, I think South Africa just showed why they are the world's number one, and they showed that they can adapt to different game plans. This was not a flash in the pan like it was in New Zealand. This was a real hard fought, grunted win. The Irish were fantastic in the fact that they went down to 12 men, 13 men, 14 men.
and they
They
scored a try.
they scored try, but not even that. They just never gave up. They never. I thought South Africa would put two tries away in the last 5 to 10 minutes because I thought Ireland just couldn't tackle all game, but they didn't, and
Yeah,
that's due to the Irish determination, and that's why Ireland rugby is also very good. They are superb at the moment, and they showed their class in not getting absolutely drenched or thumped by the number one side in the world, who were on the day exceptional.
yeah. I mean, as I put on the group as well, Ireland, yes, okay, cool. We haven't won there in like I think 14 years or so like that. But there was a stat that Ireland didn't want you to know, which was prior to this game, we were still a 66% chance of winning the game out of all the games that we played against them. But yeah, and I mean 66 is kind of where we were sitting in the overall percentage, and I'll talk about overall win percentage for us. Though it's probably a lot different right now in the year, but I know when we first started this podcast with Dara and myself, I read out the stats, and I think South Africa was sitting at 67
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh, sounds about right.
Yeah. And I'm talking about overall games. And I mean, when I saw that stat, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Unfortunately, we hadn't won in years, though there has been some controversial, like that one with Wayne Barnes talking to John Smith to go talk to the guys, and then they
Oh,
took the quick tap.
that was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, Lansdowne Road. But yeah. But anyway, guys, we got one more international game this. Yeah, the game even the Welsh aren't looking forward to, the Welsh supporters. I don't know how the team feels, but here's the team. I'm actually a little bit concerned for them. I mean, Wainwright, who he's the most cap player that they have at 61. It's going to be a slaughter. I mean, there's a few guys in the
I
20s,
mean,
and
I don't know. I think Wales playing against us. Hopefully they'll step it up a bit. I think it. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that they turn up a little bit.
but
Um,
I mean, if you look at their bench right now, Brody Coughlin, Danny Southworth, and Christian Coleman, that replacement front row only has two international caps compared to Zachary Porton, who's already got two himself. And Asanati Namakande has got a few more, and we got Bongi, who's at like 70 odd already. That front row, unfortunately, I don't see them coming up against our front row in the game. And I mean, yeah, Tane Plumtree we know is a little bit of a hothead at the moment, and of course, a couple of the guys from the Sharks aren't actually really in there, except for Andre Esterhuizen. I'm just quickly going through it, and Bongi Eben's also there, and that's about it. Who are coached under his dad, so he might have some insight from his dad, being John Plumtree. But yeah, the some of the guys will know them from the URC. But I mean, I'm just looking at this team. This team looks insane. This still looks like a decent first choice team starting for the Springboks, being
Well, I mean,
Steenekamp.
if you
Yeah,
take Bongi, Eben, and Sia, those three players have
Players.
more caps together than the entire Wales side.
Yeah.
Three of our players have more than the entire side.
I mean, okay, Wainwright and Garrett Thomas combined is less than Etzebeth.
Yeah. And look at our back line. Every one of those players can play any position. They can. Every one of those players on from 10 to 15 have played center. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
We've literally running on with five centers.
Crash ball central coming, yeah.
I mean, Damien Delender and Andre Esterhuizen as your two centers. Good luck defending that. When you tackle one, then the next phase comes the other. I mean, horrendous. Absolutely
Remember,
horrendous. Two of the
remember,
hardest running centers in world rugby are playing next to each other.
remember when I called it in the beginning with Andre Esterhuizen going on to the scrum and then taking your runner. So either Jasper as inside center. Do you think that's going to happen this weekend?
I think what might happen if there's an injury is that Quacker Smith will go into the centers.
No. But I'm talking about like one of the first scrums in their 20 in Wales 22. You're gonna see Sia
Ah,
drop to 8.
yeah,
Vised drop.
it's very possible. And Andre shifts in now, but I mean they'll just use Andre to crash it up. I mean, it's Andre and Jasper. This is the same beast, you know. It's I don't know who's the lesser of two evils. I don't know who I want to tackle out of those two, to be quite frank with you. I don't know if I want to tackle either one of those two men. I think the
Don't
Jasper needs
forget,
to say
Delenda's also done scrum practice. So you could put
shame.
Vised.
They'll be running at the I mean shame. They'll be running at their number 10 who's got six caps, the number 12 who's got six caps, and number 13 who's got six caps. And these guys between the three of them have got 18 caps, and they're going to be tackling Damien DeLinde and Andre Oster. And that's a long day in the office. Let me tell you, it's a
Yeah.
long day in the office. And just when you cover the centers, they shifted out wide, and they got Caleb Moody, who's actually very big,
And he
and
was making some big hits against
and
Ireland.
he hits. That man hits. And then on the other side, you got Ethan Hooker, who's like 100 kilograms.
And just like a diesel engine, he just keeps going.
Yeah. And then you've got Damian Willemse, who's not small either at the back.
And
And,
he jumps around left and right and sidesteps as well.
and yeah, he's agile. And then you got Sasha and Damien, who are your playmakers. And then you've got the other four. They just absolute beasts. I mean, that back line is ridiculously big. Moody, Estes, and Delinda Hooker, those are big boys, all of them. People
Well,
underestimate how big Caleb Moody is. They think because he's young, he's small. And they think he's skinny, but he's not. Have you seen him hit?
the thing is, I don't think we've seen Caden Moody at his fullest yet. I mean,
No,
if
of
you
course
look
not. He's
at
still young. He's still evolving. Caleb Mooney is a superstar. He's going to be in South African Springbok rugby for the next generation.
Francois Steyn, I mean, that's also Francois Steyn when he came onto the thing was also kind of scrawny compared to how he was when he finished.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think we're going to see the same. I think Ethan Hooker might fill up a bit more and probably be a bit more of a stronger center like Estes and but
I think what's going to happen is Ethan Hooker will take Damien Lender's spot when when retires, and I think that Caleb Moody will take Jesse Creel's spot when he retires, and I think that will be the new 12-13 combination, or they will put Damien Willemse at 12 because
well
in
they
the
might rotate him because I mean
yeah,
also
correct.
in 2019 the call was made that they needed a replacement for Francois Steyn. And Rusty at that point even said Damien Willemse.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he can cover anything: far, center, fullback, even wing it push. I mean, there's no.
Even just like Stain.
Yep, yep.
So
So I mean, it's yeah, it's fantastic. The future's bright. I read a stupid article. Unfortunately, I hate getting that stupid clickbait where they're talking about some English journalist wrote about the Springboks peaking too soon. And I
but
just thought, how little do you know about rugby that you make a statement like that and you publish it? I mean, have you not seen that Rassie Erasmus has picked this year 50 different Springboks? We've had 26 different scorers this year. 26. Show me another international side that has used 50 players and 26 different try scorers in an international season. And then you want to tell me that we've peaked too early?
you see, this is what Rusty does. Is Rusty selects the experience and everything like this, and he lets the youngsters come in and he rotates them around a few times that by the time that they become a senior player, they're still young, they still have their
They've all the experience and they've
yeah.
learned from legends. And it's fantastic. It is the right way to go. But I just read this article and it annoyed me to no end because I just thought, who is your editor that reads this and goes, yes, let's publish this?
But you see, those are the same people. But those are the same people that don't enjoy the art of the forwards. Those are probably the guys that were the wingers and well,
Again, to all those people, I say to you from every true rugby lover like myself, like yourself, go and watch rugby league. Rugby
yeah.
union has lineouts, it has mauls, and it has rucks, and it has scrums. If you don't want that, there is another sport that is very similar. It's called rugby league.
Or
Surprise.
go play touch rugby.
Yeah, or go play hockey. I don't care what you do.
Don't diss hockey. I played hockey. Hockey's even more hardcore than some of it. But yeah.
What's the other word for hockey in South Africa? I forgot.
No, we're not gonna go down.
What's that's I forgot the other word for it.
Off stock.
Yeah, let's keep it right. So now
Uh,
that debate's been settled,
yeah. Going on. So we're going into round 6 this week. Of course, these are the European times for Wales and Ireland. Just putting it out there. Starting off with Ulster hosting Benetton and Dragons are hosting Leinster, which I don't think. I I kind of see it two ways for Dragons. Dragons could try and jump on the fact that the most of the Leinster players who are from Ireland are probably not going to be playing,
correct.
or if they are playing, they're going to be very,
They'll be licking their wounds.
they're going to be licking their wounds. This is the time for them to step up. But honestly, I don't see that. I actually do see Leinster coming through. I
I mean,
don't
I
think
just a win.
Ioanni's playing
However,
yet.
like you say, this is the best shot for them just to say, hey, let's have a crack. Let's have a full crack at them. This is the best chance we've got of beating them. Let's have a crack.
And at home.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
throw the fridge at it. I mean, honestly, guys, this is the game where we can topple
But
this time.
unfortunately, a lot of the senior players are also, or let's say that the vital players are actually in the Welsh squad. But yeah, this is still the time for them to literally jump on it and take it. Of course, Ulster, I do see them beating Benetton right now because again, Benetton is mostly made out of the Italian
Yeah,
squad
correct.
players. So Ulster, they're
I
literally
think
gonna,
I think Ulster will win that one. Yeah.
yeah. Then of course we come across back home for us here in South
Derby.
Africa. Yeah.
Yips.
The
Derby.
Yetske River derby, Bulls hosting Lions. I honestly see the Bulls taking on this game. Lions, even though they look well, started getting some traction at the end.
Derby. Do
Yeah,
you know if Pollard's starting? Yes.
I think Pollard might not be playing. I have a sneaky suspicion he isn't available, but he might not. I haven't seen any
He's,
team.
he's not in the Springboks setup at the moment,
Yeah,
so maybe he's at the Bulls.
but honestly, I did read a thing. Someone asked Russie about Pollard, and he said no. Pollard's just his wife's just had a baby, and of course he isn't out the squad. He's been concentrating on that because he has enough power to not
Yeah, I
worry
mean,
about.
also the less Pollard plays these sort of games, the longer we can prolong his career. Again,
Yeah.
Russie's a sort of genius like this. That's just why he uses so many players because he has for one, he has the affordability to change and not sort of weaken his team. You know, where else can you make 12 changes in an international side and not get weaker?
No,
You know,
exactly.
it's insane. We can make 12 changes and walk out basically a similar strength team.
Yeah.
And no one in world rugby can do that at the moment. So, you know, I hope Pollard plays for the Bulls this weekend, but if not, hopefully the following weekend. It'd be great to see him back at Loftus. And obviously against the Lions, being a derby, it would be a good welcome return for him.
Okay, so the Bulls squad for the Champions Cup has been named, and looking at it, I do see Andre Pollard in there. So we'll definitely see him in the Investix Champions Cup coming up.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Liverpool's back in South Africa. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, all fairness, yeah. However, I did read a thing. It looks like Goosen is done, and probably puts a little bit more salt into the wound in this match. Kate Volter has literally gone from Ellis Park to Loftus, gone over to the other side of the Yeskere
Yeah.
River. So yeah, um, it's probably going to make this a little bit more of a grudge match, especially also Yaku Fosaki, who started his career at the Bulls, ended up at the Lions, and unfortunately due to injury has retired at the Lions. So bit of bittersweet between the two teams. So yeah. Then of course, we've got Zebra hosting Cardiff.
No one.
Yeah, Zebra can pull it out the hat, but Cardiff, I think, are also again, though they're missing some of their players, have been playing decent rugby.
I think Cardiff will pull that one.
Yeah. Then the game that Dara, myself, and yourself will probably not be talking to, as you can see on the right hand side, the unbeaten clubs are finally facing off each other right now. Munster versus Stormers, with Dara's favorite referee, Piardi, refereeing, and I do say that with a bit of tongue in cheek. Uh, going up against it. As a Stormers fan, I'm going to say Stormers because we have been playing awesome. Though 5 games winning streak and 3 of them on the road. If we lose, oh well, we lose. To be
I think it'll
honest,
be from my side. I think it's going to be a tough one for the Stormers. You know, Sasha's not there, Koulis isn't there.
Ben Jason,
Yeah, so we've got a couple of our big names not there. Um,
yeah.
Away in Ireland, it's tough. It's a tough ask. So
But also, don't forget,
I'm going to go with Stormers. Being a Stormers fan, I think it'll be a either way the ball swings. I think it's going to be an amazing game of rugby to watch. It doesn't matter for me. This is one of those games as a rugby lover you have to watch.
Also, don't forget John Klein isn't there because John Klein's with the Stormers as well right now. So he
Correct.
won't be playing. But yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that game. Then, of course, Edinburgh is hosting Ospreys, and unfortunately, I don't think Ospreys are going to win this one, missing again
No,
key players. Edinburgh as well. The team that they have right now looks like they're decent. Connacht hosting the Sharks. Sharks again are missing key players, though they have got a few key players back from the Springboks. I think Williams is set to start or play this game as well. Uh Connacht again, Hansen, Aki licking their wounds.
I'm going to go with Connacht because the Sharks have been terrible all season.
That was going to be my next point. Is then you look at the Sharks, hasn't been that great. But I was going to go with the home team there. Then
As a South African fan, it
yeah,
hurts me to say it. You know what I mean?
yeah. And then, of course, the bottom of the table, Scarlets are hosting Glasgow. Honestly, I'm gonna go Glasgow.
Glasgow will walk that one.
Yeah. There's no second thoughts there for me. Unfortunately, Scarlets haven't been well. They have been the whipping boys this year. I mean, Dragons, who were the whipping boys, have got 2 draws already this year, which has already put them um above the Dragons. As you can see, as I was just mentioning, the Dragons are above Scarlets there because of the 2 draws, and they've also got some losing bonus points in that whole thing. But of course, like I said, table topping 2 teams are going up against each other with the chance of Glasgow going up into second place and knocking one of the teams into third. Along with Cardiff, Ulster are still going to be where they are. Bulls could overtake, well, let's just be honest, are going to overtake Ulster. Lions, if they do win against the Bulls, could knock the Bulls down. Leinster again are definitely going to go up. Um, I mean, what I like about last season was it was still anybody's game at this point. We're starting to see the front runners now with this the type of rugby
I
that's
mean,
being played.
there's only round five.
Yeah, there's still 13 games to go. Oh,
I
no.
mean,
Yeah,
this is not even. I mean, a couple injuries there and there, and the
yeah.
whole team's season changes. So, I mean,
But that's
it's
when it gets
re-
exciting.
it's really early right now.
Yeah,
I think we can start sort of looking at who's going to lead the way at about round nine. To be fair to you,
yeah.
that's when you can sort of see really who's looking where in the season.
But I
Um,
mean, for me, still the shock out of everything is the fact that the Lions are sitting eighth.
For me, the shock is that the Sharks are sitting 13th.
I know we already had that 2 seasons ago, so that for me the
Yeah, but
shocks.
it's happened again. How can it happen again? How?
Yeah,
A
no,
team
no,
that could, even without their Springboks, cannot finish 13th, 14th on the log like this. This is ridiculous.
yeah, no, I do agree. They do definitely need to stop pulling some out the bag there. But yeah, yeah. But I mean, guys, give us your comments on what you think about the scrums. Should we keep them or should we not? We of course are saying let's keep them because we love the art form. I don't know if it's just because I'm South African that South Africa's always been dominant there, that I've always enjoyed watching scrums. But yeah, I think the TikTok lovers and everything like that are getting too loud right now and are trying to destroy the game of what we love, how we've enjoyed it. Um, I think when they changed the rules to 3 forwards on the bench, it made it even better for South Africa. How, but yeah, let us know. Drop a
Yeah.
comment, yeah, and everything like that.
Can I just tell you,
Yeah,
like, if you take scrums and out of the game, Where is there a spot for some of the thicker set people to play rugby? They won't pick them anymore. They got no use for them. Right? One thing I
Right.
love about rugby is it doesn't matter if you are short, tall, fat, thin, slow, quick. It doesn't matter. There is a position for you. There's a spot for you.
There we
This is
go.
what I love about rugby. There is a position for you. It doesn't matter if you are tall, short. It doesn't matter. Fat, thin. It doesn't matter. Rugby will accept you. Now, if you take scrums out of the games, will you need a 130-kilogram man on the field who's not as mobile as, let's say, a flanker? Why wouldn't you replace the entire front row of flanks then if they don't have to scrum? It's going to kill the game.
Yeah.
Don't kill the game I love, guys.
No, I agree. Like I said, I think it's those people that uh
I think it's
want
exactly what you
this.
said. The people that haven't played the game is the
Yeah.
ones that are screaming the loudest.
It's the ones that are ruining the game for those of us who want to go watch it for the game. It's those people that sit there and they sit there with their phone taking pictures of themselves the whole time and their drinks and the funny little dances in between. Not the ones that sit there going Sweet Caroline and all that kind of stuff, and then cheering the boys on and screaming that when we walk out, our voices are gone. Yes, that's me. Uh, my wife hates me when she goes to the games with me because she doesn't like attention. But then there's me screaming my lungs out at the game. uh, but yeah. But yes, remember, guys, like, share, comment. Please let us know. We would like to hear your thoughts on this because I mean, honestly, I think it's rubbish. I do think, like I said, it's those people that are too busy on social media to actually care about the game that are actually destroying it for us right now. And I don't like that. I don't want that. It isn't our game. It isn't how rugby's been. Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah,
That I'm saying.
I agree with you 100%.
But anyway, guys, fellow champions, be safe. We'll see you next week where will review the Wales game and then we'll also look into round 5 as we start looking into the Champions Cup. We'll start looking at what the teams are looking like and our points on those games. But anyway, Tim, thanks very much for this week.
Pleasure, man. Have a good
Cheers.
one. Huh?
Yeah. Bye.